Welcome back, everyone, to the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series. We're back for round 7 today. Only one more after this. Looking forward to a season finale next week. But today we're at Imola. It has got a more complicated and long name, but we're not going to use it. Imola works perfectly for us. I'm joined today by Kirby once again. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm here at the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari.
There you go. That's the longer one.
And yeah.
This is going to be a fairly decent benchmark for Mario, although obviously takes a lap or so to get the tyres up as he squirms his way through the final corner. He's got that run down to the checkered flag now. Does a little trick to make that run as short as possible. Already started. So I've got one car in the pit lane, resetting. Clearly didn't have the first lap that they wanted. So that benchmark time from Oriel Falk is a 1:41.817. That's the benchmark. Jarvis can't beat it. Ulement can't beat it either. I believe Imola, one of the tracks that has very specific track limits as well. It's got the F1 style track limits, which is different at different corners. Pulling off was Oriel Falk there. Ignis does the same on the grass, but he goes 2 times clear of Oriel, so that's a nice big improvement from him. Let's take a look at what his teammate Ivan Hubert is going to do as he comes across the line. Improvement from Ligari, he stays P7. Ivan Hubert goes to P2. We have got one of the GT3s, I believe. I can't remember the car number off the top of my head that's starting from pit lane today, but it's still taking part in qualifying, allowing him to score qualifying points, but we'll have to take the pit lane start. That's a penalty for an incident in a previous session. Giroche goes to P1, picks up purple sector 5 to finish off the lap. That puts him just under half a tenth clear of Ignis Vinzareski's. All right there, Leander Cox steals that purple sector 3. We've got a proper battle on today, and it's deep.
Oh no!
At the end of a lap for Christian Glemscher, so that's going to be run over. He gathers it up to try and get a good run out of the corner, so clearly he has enough fuel to go for another lap.
That is so disappointing. Just presumably a little too much forward bias. Or rear bias, excuse me, in the car. The front's getting unsettled. The car wobbles under braking, and that is the worst feeling when you're just coming in that hot towards a corner and you can't save it from there. Has to abandon that lap.
Yeah,
what?
James Ebram goes to the top by 7 tenths of a second. So I would have loved to have seen what was in for that lap for Christian that previous lap. Well, it's not over till it's over, but Leander Cock is not improving. We've got the checkered flag now. So only drivers out on track are... well, Christian is out there, but that's all yellows for Christian so far this lap, and he's retired to the pit lane. Liam does not improve either. That's expected. Only driver left out there is the 58.
Pit lane is very quickly filling up with hypercars. This is my favourite thing, is we just have... You don't get this in iRacing anywhere else. Just the stack of cars waiting at pit exit, waiting to be let out on track. I do love it. It is... I don't know if it's necessarily unique to this series, but as far as I'm aware, ASR are one of the few that actually do this, and I appreciate them for it.
Here we go, we've got a nice little queue. And at the front, Davide Favaro, you can see him there just at the left-hand corner of your screen. Don't know why this has decided to be so far out. There we go, a nice little queue of hypercars getting ready to go out and make the most of the 11-minute session that they have. That's green flag there, so... who did we just say that was? That's Davide Favaro is going to lead the field to green as we get a nice little cycle out of the pit lane. To the top for Albert Preem with 2 purple sectors. Nice improvement. Just ahead, though, of Alvaro Gutierrez, and Jeffrey Ross goes half a second quicker in the Acura. Wow, that's a mega lap. 26.183. Jeffrey Ross improving again at the front. Nice to see some proper pace from Jeffrey. We've seen it in the past, but he's flying today. Davide Favaro's purple in sector 4 as well, with a couple of yellows and a couple of greens to go along with that. That moves him up to P2. John Paul Seaman to the top as they run, though, 2 turns clear of what Jeffrey Ross did. But Ross, like we said, on an improvement so far. Another purple sector for Ross, so it's 2 so far this lap. Matisse stays P4. Avale across the line. Where's he going to go? Up to P6. Boykoven's going to be next across the line. He goes P5 in the sister car to Jeffrey Ross. And what's it going to be? Then Jeffrey Ross comes across the line, hugs the wall nice and tight to shorten that run to the line. He was P2. And
Very close.
Stays P2, yeah, very, very close at the front now. Right.
Either way, they approach the final 2 corners now. Pace car will lead them through, take the hard right, back onto the pit lane. Start zone is at the end of the moto layout, little kink to the left here. Then it's all bets off as we charge into turn 1. 6 Acuras lead the front row of this grid. We'll see if they stay there when we get there.
LMP2 is a long way behind this field, but that's nice because it gives us a little bit of time to watch the action into turn 1. Backing up there. Oh no, we're sideways backwards on the straight.
A little crash.
Okay, we are staying green though because the track is not actually blocked. Jean-Paul Seaman leads into turn 1. Jeffrey Ross P2. The front 2 are as they are. Lely just behind him P3. He's made up positions with that interesting start that we just saw. LMP2, James Ibram going a little bit earlier than we saw in the hypercar class. Naspalini on the radio, not very happy about what happened. We still see a bumper banging around. Christian Glamshet is on the inside of Sebastian van der Hoover. Like you said, that's the benefit of starting P3. You can watch the leader and follow them through, and that's exactly what he does. Gets up into P2, and we've now got another car. That's Liam de Cox challenging Sebastian, and Sebastian goes around. Let's take a quick look at how that happened. Oh, just dropped it on the exit. And we're going to go to the start of GT3 if we can. Why aren't we live? Here we are live. And that's not the GT3 field. This is a GT3 field. Into turn 1, Vincent Sarace leads them away. That's the Ignas Vincereski is directly behind him, hanging on to the back of him where he qualified. Ivan Ibera having to fight a little bit more with Oriol Falk behind, but is ahead as they run. GT3 field looking like they've mostly made it through there. Matthias Weiten into the pit lane. That's for he clearly got damage on that opening lap incident, you would have to assume. Vincent Sarace leads them, but I tell you what, Ignas Vincereski is not going to let him get away. He's all over the back of him. We're side by side a little bit further back. Right, here you go. GTP start. Watch Matthias Weiten, that's the Cadillac car, and they're all bunching up ahead a little bit. And it looks like the leaders are slowed down a little bit before going, maybe. And it's really hard to see what happened from that angle, to be completely honest. We'll leave that to race control. See what happened to Casper Hu in the LMP2. Oh, alongside his teammate and just carried a bit too much speed.
Like you're hitting your normal braking point, but you're trying to take an earlier exit. Oh, Ullman just got bullied off the racing line and he's halfway spun in Tosa.
Here's what happened. Gonna be watching on our second feed live.
It's my
Roxy car.
But yeah, he just gets dived here and sent straight to the marbles, and there's no recovery at that point. I'll give it to stewards, but that just looks like someone got on the bad line, got a little too many marbles to handle.
This is going to go so terribly wrong. Hypercar up the inside, Bram in the middle, and yeah, contact as a result. We knew this was going to be a problem today, didn't we? And it's proving to be exactly that. Tight at the front of GT3 Pro as well. Sarace's pulled away a little bit. I think Ignas has possibly been held up a little bit because his teammate is now right on the back of him. And we've got the two DLR teammates making their way past this field. Now, surely we're going to see a move here from Davy van der Wacker, who's trying to make his way through.
Then you can't because there's GT3 there, and I think both of these cars want to keep driving here.
A sensible decision to
wiggle.
Contact here, and it's all on the exit. Nearly collects his teammate as he carries a lot more speed through the exit, and that's through for Davey on his teammate, and that's I'm not even sure, another car behind. That's for 10, which is a lap down, I believe. That's why they're right behind these cars, but not showing on the timing board. Sebastian making his way past a 14, but in contact with the GT3 later on. Monty straight on the radio. That's one of the GT3's, GTP, sorry. That's the 1, 2, 4 of David Afavari running P3, trying to make his way through. These two are still side by side. Sebastian trying to go around the outside, and there's contact as he does so. Wasn't he clear enough that was his corner? It's really hard to tell from these sorts of camera angles, but he's now having to deal with one of the GTPs trying to get through, and that GTP did not want to wait. That's another GTP that has to take avoiding action onto the curb. This is what happens when you have all three classes on the same bit of road. Currently, Monty has picked up a meatball from that contact. That's really, really unfortunate. And then Sebastian has more contact with the GTP as he tried to go around the outside. It's all chaos today. Oriol Falk on the back of Ivan Ubera, who's dropped off the back of his teammate. Oriol looking for a move here. He's got a mega run. Ubera depends the inside, but that's not going to trick Falk. He dives down there at the last second. Can he keep it on the road? No, he can't. All over the curbs. And he catches the 24. Sorry, he's at the 25. That's him. Lukaku was running P3. I was going to put Evan Walsham ahead of him, surely.
Check my corner before upcoming rally last lap, please. Thank you.
Oh my lord. Little bit of bookkeeping for you. Anti-Cigaro has been determined to be at fault for the lap 1 pileup we saw in the GTP start.
Is that a drive-through penalty? It is
that
a black flag.
That is a drive-through penalty, yeah.
Black flag, but he's still trying to make up position on track before he goes to serve it, and he doesn't contest it. Straight to the pit lane for Antonio Cigaro. It's good to see no contesting on stuff like that from the drivers.
So you see
Michael Kellenberger looking for the move just here. We're seeing them side by side. And that's not a great camera angle, is it? Here we go. Trying to go around the outside. Can't make it work. Outside turns to inside. Gets it done before we even get to the entrance of Aqua Minerale. Nicely done as Michael Kellenberger trying to make his way back up the order. Jean-Paul Seaman, your race leader's had an incident here. Jeffrey Ross is now back ahead of him. Let's take a look at what happened to Jean-Paul running on the back of the LMP2. And then gets on the marbles. We've seen that go wrong for so many, but there's contact with the LMP2. The LMP2 is up against a curb. I'm not really sure what the LMP2 could have done, and that's Jeffrey Ross coming up behind him, and he's going to get by just because he's got so much more speed. Oh no, Michael Kellenberger, after that brilliant recovery, has had another incident. I'm not sure what it's going to be.
Big bike.
Bobbers a curb, but gets away with that. He is still running, actually.
Oh no.
Nicely spinning it up to keep moving, and I think that's going to give Niels a position on track as well. And it is, so this one's not over. We saw how Michael got past a few laps ago. Relay slots back through into P2 as they run. Lely has a 20-second time penalty as well. Remember, Alvaro Gutierrez is currently about 16 seconds off the back of him, so if Albert Green can get past, he can still get that P4 actually. But right now it's looking like it's going to be P5-ish, presuming that Lely doesn't pull that 3 seconds that he needs. And right now it's looking like Lely's going to pull that 3 seconds he needs because he's just put about a second on them since I started speaking this sentence. So Albert Green needs to get a move on and get past Carlos Alvaro Gutierrez quickly if he wants to stay within 20 seconds of Alessandro Lely.
There's not really been like a great deal of windows to make moves for the hypercars here. I guess you're like, as with all things, your best shot isn't to turn 1, but these cars are going to get to the same speeds.
He is within a tenth of a second here, though. Oh, and that's a little bit of a block. I don't think race control will be pleased with that. Let's see if that goes to the steward's room. Albert Green trying to make it work around the outside, and there's contact. And I'll tell you what, someone said we're going to get a recreation of Max v Lewis in 2021, and that looked exactly like it. Apologies, live images. Jean-Paul Seaman comes across the line to take the win in GTP, and Cigaro is next couple of zone in P10. Ignis Vinzareski's finished 6 seconds ahead of his teammate Ivan Iberis. That's going to be a 1-2 finish for them in GT3. James Ebram's going to have to do an extra lap, but Christian Glamshetter will finish P2, so James Ebram will win in LMP2 when he eventually takes the checkered flag. Christian Glamshetter, Linda Cock P2 and P3. Jeffrey Ross comes out in P2. Davide Favara in P3. None of these drivers so far I've listed have got penalties, so they are probably going to finish as they are, apart from what we discussed with Ignis. Senna Botkoven is yet to come across the line. Michael Kellenberger has taken 7 seconds out of him since he got past. Niels has unfortunately dropped down to P4, but it's going to give Jesus Jimenez a podium.
Have fuel? Okay, no, the gap is stable. Never mind. I saw the gap coming down. I was like, is Botkoven in like a giga save mode or something? No, just a small timing blip. But should still come home to finish.
Drivers coming across the line. Now Senna Botkoven as well, taking a checkered flag to win in GT3. I believe that will mean that the title in all 4 classes will go to the final round. All right, that's all from us today, and see you next week.